A little girl lay motionless beside Ryder Mason's motorcycle, her fingers still clutching an empty snack wrapper. His heart kicked hard in his chest. "Please, don't be mad," she whispered weakly, her voice cracking with fear. "What happened to you, kid?" he asked. She looked up, eyes wide. "My stepdad said I don't deserve dinner." A truck backfired in the distance, metal clanging, engines growling. Ryder stood tall, muscles coiling, eyes narrowing toward the sound. "Not today," he muttered. "Not while I'm here." Just minutes earlier, Ryder Mason had been on a long, lonely ride through the backroads of Arizona. He stopped outside a small roadside market to grab a cold drink, tired from the sun and the miles. He didn't expect to become part of something that would change both his life and the life of a starving child. "Before we go on, tell me where you're watching from, and subscribe. My mom said I won't reach 1,000 subscribers before the end of December." Back to the story. Ryder had parked his bike right in front of the store. He leaned on the seat, sipping water, when he saw her, a little girl maybe 7, barefoot and trembling. Her clothes were dirty, torn at the sleeves, and her skin had a gray kind of pale that made him uneasy. She was standing close to his motorcycle, staring at the wrapper in her hand like it was gold. Then her knees buckled. She dropped to the ground without a sound. The wrapper slipped from her fingers. For a split second, Ryder didn't move. Then instinct kicked in. He rushed over, his boots scraping the pavement, and dropped beside her. He lifted her head gently. She was light, too light. Her pulse fluttered weakly against his hand. Ryder's chest tightened. He scooped her up and carried her inside the market, shouting for help. A store worker looked up from the counter, bored. "She's always hanging around here," he said. "Probably just begging again." Another man by the chips rack shrugged. "Not our problem." Ryder stared at them, disbelief, then anger. The world felt colder in that moment. He laid the girl down on the floor and grabbed a bottle of water. When the cool drops touched her lips, she gasped and blinked open her eyes. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I just wanted the crumbs. I didn't mean to touch your motorcycle." That single sentence hit Ryder harder than any crash he'd ever taken. He saw the fear in her eyes, not of being caught but of being punished. He set the water bottle down and sat beside her. "Easy," he murmured. "You're safe." But she didn't believe him yet. Her small hands shook as she tried to sit up. "I don't have a mommy anymore," she said, voice barely above a breath. "The man I live with, he locks the food cabinet. He says kids like me don't deserve dinner." Ryder's jaw flexed. He didn't need to ask more, but he did. "Who's this man?" She hesitated, looking toward the window. Her eyes darted like she was being watched. "He's coming for me," she said. "Please don't let him take me back." Something heavy filled the silence. The kind that comes before a storm. Outside, a pair of headlights turned slowly into the parking lot. The beam washed over the windows, then vanished. Ryder turned his head and saw a beat-up truck roll to a stop beside his bike. The engine idled low like a growl. The little girl's body went stiff. "That's him," she whispered, her voice shaking. Ryder looked at her, small, scared, covered in dust, and something inside him changed. The tiredness from the road vanished. His hands stopped trembling. All that remained was purpose. He stood up, slow but steady. The world around him seemed to quiet down. Even the buzz of the market lights faded into the background. He stepped between her and the glass doors, his back straight, eyes locked on the truck outside. The driver's door opened. A man climbed out, heavy, rough-looking, shadowed under the parking light. He took one step forward, scanning the store windows like he owned the place. Ryder didn't move. He could feel the girl behind him, clutching his vest with both hands. Her breath hitched with every sound the man made. He didn't need to ask who the guy was. He already knew. Another emotional beat, silence. The kind that carries fear and fury at once. Ryder took a slow breath. His heart wasn't racing anymore. It was steady, dangerous. The way it gets before things go bad. He turned his shoulders, blocking the little girl completely from view. The man outside paused, trying to see who was standing in his way. The air felt heavy. The hum of the refrigerator units, the faint ring of the market door, the faint rumble of that truck engine. Every sound seemed sharper. Ryder didn't speak. He just stared through the glass until the man hesitated. Behind him, the girl whispered, "Please don't let him take me." He didn't look back. "He won't." The man outside put a hand on the truck door and stepped closer. Ryder took a step too, slow, certain. The store clerk finally noticed the tension. "Hey buddy," he said nervously, "maybe let her go. You don't want trouble." Ryder didn't answer. Trouble was already here. The headlights flickered once like a warning. The man grinned, a crooked, cruel grin, and that's when Ryder's hand closed into a fist. He wasn't just a biker now. He was a protector between a child and the monster who'd starved her. The truck door slammed like thunder. A man in a filthy jacket stormed out, shouting the girl's name. His voice was rough and mean, the kind that made people stop and stare. The little girl froze behind Ryder, her small hand gripping the edge of his vest. "She's lying," the man barked. "Ungrateful little thief. She stole money that isn't hers." Ryder didn't move. His stance stayed calm, his eyes fixed on the man. "She passed out from hunger," he said quietly. "Nobody's taking her anywhere." The man's face twisted. He lunged forward, reaching past Ryder. But Ryder's hand shot up and caught his wrist mid-air. The sound of that grip, firm and final, changed the air around them. People in the store stopped, pretending not to see. "Let go of me," the man yelled, yanking back. Ryder didn't. "Walk away," Ryder warned, voice low and steady. The man cursed, but Ryder pulled his phone from his pocket with his free hand and called the police. When the cruiser arrived, Ryder felt a wave of hope. Finally, someone would help. But when the officer stepped out, his face said something different. He looked tired, uninterested. "Sir," the cop said, "we can't do much without proof. She is under his care." The words hit harder than a punch. The girl clung to Ryder's vest, sobbing. Her small body shook against his chest. "Please," she cried, "don't let him take me." Ryder looked at the officer, then at the man smirking behind him. His blood boiled. He knew there had to be another way. He made one call. Just one. The officer sighed. "Sir, I told you." Then the sound came. Engines. Dozens of them. The ground trembled as a convoy of motorcycles turned the corner, their headlights blazing through the evening dust. The Iron Guardians had arrived. Ryder's brothers. Men in black leather with steel in their eyes. They parked in a line, blocking the truck in the road, engines still rumbling like thunder. The cop froze. The store clerk stepped outside. Everyone did. The man with the filthy jacket spun around, panic spreading across his face. "What is this?" he shouted. Ryder finally released his wrist. "This," he said, "is proof she's not alone." The man stepped back, sweating. His hand slipped into his pocket, fast, nervous. Something fell to the ground. A small silver band bounced across the pavement. Ryder bent down and picked it up. A child's medical bracelet. He turned it over. Inside was a name, not the one the man had shouted, and a tiny note. "Emergency contact. Missing mother. Case still open." Ryder looked up slowly. The truth hit him all at once. The man wasn't her father. Not even close. He'd been the mother's ex, the one who never let go even after she died. He'd kept the child hidden, cashing her late mother's benefits every month. Ryder's grip tightened around the bracelet. "You're done," he said. The biker started filming. Cameras up. Lights on. The officer's radio came alive with new orders. Within minutes, 2 unmarked cars arrived. Real detectives. Child Protective Services. The air changed again, now it was justice. The man tried to run. He didn't get far. 2 Harleys rolled forward, blocking his path. One of the bikers cut the engine and said, "End of the road, buddy." Handcuffs clicked shut. The man shouted, but no one listened anymore. The truth had spoken for him. The girl pressed her face into Ryder's vest, still trembling. He knelt beside her. "You're safe now," he whispered. "No one's ever touching you again." Her tears slowed. She didn't say a word. She just held on. Days passed. The story spread fast. A biker who protected a hungry little girl from the man who'd stolen her life. Ryder didn't care about the cameras or the headlines. He just wanted her safe. Then, a week later, CPS came by the Iron Guardians clubhouse. They told him they'd found the girl's grandmother, alive but living in a nursing home. She couldn't take her in. The girl looked at Ryder, her eyes wide and tired. "Can I stay with you?" she asked softly. "Just until someone wants me?" Ryder knelt to her level, eyes gentle. He rested a hand on her shoulder. "Someone already does," he said. The next morning, the sun rose over the highway. A single Harley rolled down the road, chrome shining in the light. In the sidecar sat the little girl, helmet too big, smile even bigger. She waved at passing cars, wind whipping through her hair. Ryder looked over and smiled. For the first time in years, the road ahead didn't feel empty. The world had taken too much from that little girl. But now she had a home, and a family that would never let her go. And sometimes Ryder thought maybe the road brings you where you're needed most.